How's it going, guys? My name is Krasi and welcome to another FIFA 21 tutorial on my channel. Guys, it's time to show you the best possible controller and camera settings for FIFA 21. And guys, if you wanna buy cheap and safe FIFA coins or PSN and Xbox prepaid cards, check the links down below and use the code KRASI for a huge discount. In the next couple of minutes, guys, I'm gonna be explaining to you every single option in customized controls. Guess what? We've got some new features, new options, some of them extremely useful, and for sure, guys, those new options will bring you extra wins in division rivals, for champions, squad battles and drafts. So let's get started. Make sure to follow the tutorial carefully, guys, and of course, if you appreciate this type of content on the channel and if you want me to continue my tutorial series every single day, let's go over 2,000 likes. All be massively appreciated. So let's get started, guys. It's really easy. When you enter FIFA 21 for the first time, make sure to go to Customize, afterwards Settings, Customize Controls. And now let's talk about each of those options. FIFA Trainer. Choose whether you want to show or hide the trainer during gameplay. Guys, if you're a newcomer to FIFA 21, if it's your first time that you ever play FIFA in your life, yes, you need to use show. It's gonna be easier for you to learn FIFA 21. However, if you've played FIFA before, I strongly advise you to turn that option off. Hide 200%. So, time finishing, bros. You remember esports added that new feature to FIFA 19. It was a fantastic new feature, guys. Pros, also average users were using on, because that was absolutely incredible to time your shot. Unfortunately, in FIFA 20, everyone stopped using that option. In FIFA 21, still you can use time finishing, but guys, honestly, in my opinion, you can score goals even without using time finishing, but leave it on. Why not? I advise you to leave it on. From time to time you can try time finishing, but trust me, you can score plenty of goals without using time finishing in FIFA 21, just like in FIFA 20, guys, because in FIFA 20 no one was using time finishing. Even the pros at the live events, they didn't use time finishing, bros. So, moving on, next player switch indicator, bros. I strongly advise you to use on. Enables the next player switch indicator, which shows to which player you will swap controls when pressing L1 while defending, guys. That's a very important option, so make sure to leave it at on. Otherwise, you won't be able to see the player that you want to switch to, okay? So make sure to use on. Pass block assistance. Disable pass block assistance for your user control players so they don't attempt to intercept the ball when it's close by. Instead, they will stay in position and you manually need to launch a block tackle. It's gonna be quite difficult for you to defend if this option is off. Makes no sense to use off when your opponents are gonna use on. So make sure to use on. So enable pass block assistance so that your AI control players and user control players will attempt to intercept a pass automatically when the ball is close by. Leave that option at on. It's gonna make your defending much easier, guys. Auto switching is the next option, guys. Air balls and loose balls. Okay, I've been always using that option. In my opinion, that's the best one. If you're a beginner, you can use auto, guys, if you're a newcomer to FIFA 21, but guys, if you are an advanced user, I advise you to use either manual or air balls and loose balls. We will only switch for you on lobs, crosses and loose balls, otherwise you are on your own. I want to give you an example, guys. Are you using the right stick to switch between your players? If you never use the right stick, guys, I advise you to go with auto switching. If you always count on the right stick to switch between your players, I advise you to go either with manual or with air balls and loose balls. But Actually, airbos, that option is much better, guys, because sometimes when your opponent is performing a cross, sometimes the game glitches. You cannot select the right player by yourself and win the header in defense, so you may face difficulties in defending crosses if you use manual. That's why I advise you to use air balls and loose balls. Auto switching, move assistance, none. 100% none, guys. You can also use low, high, but use high if it's your first time that you ever run FIFA 21. I'm gonna use none because I've been playing FIFA for over 15-20 years. Auto switch, move assistant will keep the player you auto switch to moving in his current direction for a short period of time. This gives you time to orient your intended direction for the new player. So moving on to another very important option, guys, jockey, assisted or manual. There is no doubt about this one, guys. 100% assisted, bros. Why are you gonna make your life harder when everyone is gonna use assisted in FUT Champions, division rivals, drafts, and so on, guys? It doesn't make sense to use manual because it's gonna be much easier for you to defend by using assisted. So yes, leave it at assisted. Auto flare pass off. Players will never perform flare passes unless the flare modifier is held. Guys, it's extremely easy to perform flare passes by yourself. You just need to press the modifier button on your controller. So it doesn't make sense to use on, because sometimes you need your player to perform a very strong and accurate pass. Imagine if the player uses a backheel pass instead. The backheel passes are slower, sometimes broken. It's gonna ruin your counterattack, so I strongly advise you to use off, and whenever you wanna use flare passes, feel free to perform those type of passes by yourself. So moving on to another new option, new feature in FIFA 21, auto clearances on or off. That's the big question, guys. In the previous editions we didn't have that option, so everyone was using off, but in FIFA 20, guys, why not? Get the most out of on. Take advantage of that option. And right now I'm gonna show you an example, guys. Look at the screens. I wanted to pass the ball to my striker, and what happened? Auto clearance by the defender, controlled by my opponent, guys. That's a brand new animation in FIFA 21, and because that guy had auto clearances on, he managed to successfully clear the ball and stop me from scoring another goal, guys. That's why, in my opinion, that's a very important new option, and yeah, I advise you to use on so you can take the most out of AI. I know, guys, it's quite boring to use the support of AI in your matches, but we all need to admit that AI is in the game, guys. Auto clearances, auto blocks, AI defending, and so on. It's in the game. Your opponents will always get the most out of AI. So why do you want to turn off all the AI options? It doesn't make sense, guys. So I'm gonna use on. The next one, auto shots. For this one, if it's the first time that you ever run FIFA 21, okay, use auto shots, but I strongly advise you to turn that option off, because I'm pretty sure that you can press the circle button by yourself when it comes to shooting. So you don't need the support of AI when it comes to shooting, guys. Player lock, that's a brand new option in FIFA 21 and probably the most important option. And this option is a game changer in FIFA 21, and I strongly advise you to use on. Enable this feature to lock to a player using the left stick plus the right stick press, and then switch away from the dribbler using right stick flick. Guys, I'm pretty sure that most of you don't even know what player lock means, because that's a brand new option in FIFA 21, and in the following days I'm gonna create a dedicated tutorial on how to use player runs in FIFA 21. Brand new attacking runs, guys. It's gonna take your FIFA skills to the next level, I promise you. With that being said, let's move on to another incredible option, Contextual Agile Dribbling. Actually guys, I explained that option to you in one of my previous tutorials, a dedicated tutorial about Agile Dribbling in FIFA 21. And then, in front of the penalty box, I only used a ball move to beat the defender, but look at Bobby Firmino, bros. He used the Agile Dribbling to go past the defender by himself. I didn't press anything, guys. The next option is assisted headers, bros, and of course, leave it at on. Guys, of course you want the game to help you direct your headers properly on target. Because in FIFA 20, guys, we all remember that in FIFA 20, headers were totally broken, guys. Basically, we couldn't score goals using headers. But in FIFA 21, it's possible thanks to that assisted headers option. Right stick switching, guys. Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Use the default option. And the next option, guys, through ball assistance. I've been using Semi for the last 4-5 years. I'm extremely happy with Semi, guys, so I strongly advise you to use that option. You can control the power of your passes. That's really important, guys, because sometimes when you do a through pass, for example, if you use assisted, the pass may lack power. So make sure to use Semi so you can get the most out of the pass power, guys. In some certain in-game situations, it's gonna be crucial, especially when you're playing FUT Champions. Shot assistance, guys, of course leave it at assisted. Bros, if you wanna use manual, I can assure you that you're gonna lose 25 out of 30 matches in FUT Champions. Cross assistance, bros, and honestly we've got two options here, Semi and assisted. Considering the fact that headers are back in FIFA 21, you can try and use Semi, bros. Cross direction and power will only have a little assistance and depend more on where you point and how much you hold the cross button, guys. So guys, if you're an experienced enough user just like me, feel free to use Semi to have more control over your crosses. However, if you believe that you cannot direct your crosses properly by yourself, go and use assisted. I'm gonna use Semi, guys. Low pass assistance, assisted, bros. It's not even a question. That's a normal pass using square. I strongly advise you to use assisted. So let's move on to the next option, safe assistance. Don't touch anything, bros. Make sure to use assisted. Analog sprint. Turning on analog sprint allows you to control how fast you sprint. The further you hold the button assigned to the sprint action, the faster the player will run. I'm gonna give you an example. If you're using on, you're not gonna sprint with the player's maximum pace from the moment you press the button. For example, if you've got Cristiano Ronaldo on the ball and he's got 95 pace, if you don't press the button hard, he will start sprinting, let's say, with 75 pace. You don't want this to happen, guys. Make sure to use off, so it doesn't matter how strong you press the button, the player on the ball will start sprinting with his maximum pace. Defending, tactical defending, guys. When you play online, especially when you play FUT Champions, you cannot change that option. By default, you're gonna use tactical defending. So yes, learn to defend. Pass receiver lock, late or early, guys. The pass receiver is locked early at the time when the kicking animation begins. If you're using early and late, the pass receiver is locked as late as possible, close to the time when the ball is kicked. this is the default setting, guys, and I'm gonna explain to you why early is a much better option. For example, guys, if the distance between the player on the ball and the receiver of the pass is, let's say, 10-15 meters, when you're using early, the pass receiver is locked early. The moment you press the pass button, the game will automatically switch to the pass receiver, and then, guys, you've got extra second, bros, 1 extra second to use the left stick and go towards the ball, because you can actually move and turn the left stick, go towards the ball and get away from the defender who is coming from behind if there is a defender behind you. So I strongly advise you to use early and save time. Regarding controller settings, attacking, defense, guys, as you can see, I'm using custom controls. I've been using those controls for 15 years. I won some big events because, you know, I was a pro player back to FIFA 10, FIFA 11, FIFA 12, 13 and so on. Yes, I used custom controls all the time, guys, because honestly I found those controls better than the classic ones. But honestly, it's just my personal preference. So if you've never touched that option, make sure to use classic for attack and classic for defense. So guys, we're done with the customized controls options. As I mentioned, in the next couple of days we are gonna talk about those options in special dedicated videos. For example, I'm gonna create a dedicated video on those player lock runs. I'm gonna explain to you how everything works, so make sure to follow the upcoming tutorials as well. Now, before we finish today's episode, I'm gonna talk about the camera settings that you need to use in FIFA 21 Ultimate Team. Also head to head, it doesn't matter, bros, it applies to all game modes. Single player, multiplayer camera, make sure to use Tele broadcast, guys. That's the best possible camera, guys. Tele broadcast, without any doubt, provides you with the best possible angles, in-game angles for FIFA, guys. So yeah, I've been using that option for the last 15 years if I'm not mistaken, and I will never ever change it, bros. And before we finish today's episode, I'm gonna change one more option. Camera settings, I'm gonna use camera height around 1920, guys. Actually, currently I'm using 19, and camera zoom I'm currently using 2. Now let me show you the difference between the default camera angles and my custom tele broadcast angles. Those are the default angles. Let me go to settings now. Game settings, camera settings, tele broadcast, custom. Okay, 19 to... Take a look at the difference now. The difference is obvious, guys. You can see a much bigger part of the field, guys. It's gonna make everything much easier for you. Passing, shooting, attacking, defending, everything is gonna be easier for you. You can see the left fullback, you can see your CDMs, you can see your wingers, you can see your attackers in front positions. Everything is much better when you're using custom camera angles. So guys, this is gonna be the end of today's FIFA 21 controller settings alongside camera settings tutorial. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you're more than welcome, guys, to smash the like button below if you want me to continue these type of videos on my channel. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Bye bye.